This is part 2 of my 10-inch spoiler build. We will be installing the support rods. Make sure to watch part 1 before watching this video. The first step is to mark and drill the top of the acrylic. I went with equally spaced holes, but it would have looked a little bit better if I put the holes like in the picture above. I drilled 5 5/16 holes, and the center of each one of these holes is 1 1/4 inch from the edge of the spoiler. Install the spoiler on the rear of the car. I'll be using the fully torqued racing support rods. They are very nice units with aluminum mounts and rod ends. The center section of these rods is too short, so I took some 3/8 fuel line and reamed up the ends. I then used them as temporary rods to test the lengths before making the permanent ones. Install the temporary support rod. The 5 temporary support rods are positioned just like I want them. Remove the plastic cover. We have to avoid the hatch seal area and the glass area for the holes. The target area is this ledge. I started by taking some initial measurements. The goal is to get the holes to line up in the area that we want. A few double checks, and I found the hole location. It looks like one of the holes will be underneath the hatch latch, so I marked around it so we can reinstall it in the same location. I then removed the hatch latch. After a few measurements, the hole gets marked up. Reinstall the latch. After marking up the 2 outer holes, I started by drilling the furthest passenger side hole, making my way up to a full 5/16 hole. Lightly deburr both sides and drill below with the 9/16 drill bit. To keep the holes from leaking, I made a ghetto punch to make a few gaskets for the support rods. Install a bolt from below, then install the gasket. Screw in the support rod to the car and the spoiler. And repeat the process for the driver's side. And the next step is the 3 center rods. In my case, the holes were drilled 7 3/8 from the glass. Use a straight edge to ensure the rod is perfectly straight. Drill the 5/16 hole and remove the burrs. Go ahead and ream the underside to 9/16 to fit the head of the bolt, and then install the new bolt. Install the center support rod. I made the last two support rods an equal length away from the center rod and ensured that they were perfectly straight. Drill the last two holes with the same process as before. It looks like the fitment is good, so now is the time to make the permanent center rods. I ordered some hollow aluminum rod online, cut the rod to the same length as we made the temporary rods from earlier, clamp the rod down and ream the inside to 278 thousandths. Use a 5/16 by 24 left-hand tap on one end and a 5/16 by 24 right-hand tap on the other. The next step is to get a nice brushed finish. I used my wood lathe for this, but a hand drill would also work. 220 grit sandpaper leaves a nice matte finish for this aluminum. A dab of anti-seize keeps the threads happy. Install the new center rods. Left and right hand threads allow you to lengthen and shorten the rod when installed. The SCCA CAM T class doesn't allow any spoilers that go beyond the body panels. So I shortened the rod and pulled the spoiler forward to stay within the rules. Go ahead and tighten up the jam nuts. A quick DIY test of this 10-inch spoiler shows that it makes 276 pounds of downforce at 35 miles per hour. And that's an extremely good number and exactly what I'm looking for my autocross car. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my channel for more awesome content.